Money FM 89.3, the best of Saturday mornings. International News Review.
Welcome back to the show with our International News Review. Joining us today, Hubertus Hoffmann, the president and CEO of Mission Future, a German entrepreneur, geostrategist. He's worked in the Bundestag, the European Parliament, the U.S. Senate, has been a visiting scholar for the Center for Strategic Studies in Washington, and now based back in Germany with Mission Future. Hubertus, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for this kind invitation.
Yeah.
And to talk this morning about fascinating foreign affairs.
Can I just ask, for the benefit of myself and our listeners, what is a geostrategist? What do you actually do?
You don't look like a frog from a lake, but you are like a bird, like an eagle from far away. The interconnections between different elements of foreign affairs. Mm-hmm. So you look what are the interests of America, what's the interests of Europe, what's the interests of China, and this is how you get a real picture.
Mm. Fascinating.
Yeah. You were a journalist back in the era of President Carter. You covered the White House. You covered the Senate. Take us forward to now, and you've been a keen watcher of what's been happening in the U.S. political scene. Take us through what you're feeling and thinking about President Trump and Elon Musk and J.D. Vance. And, you know, this first week has been very consequential, probably one of the most consequential weeks in presidential inaugural week history. What are your viewpoints? What are you seeing from your side?
Many are shocked still, especially in the media. And they get emotional on Trump. Some of the criticism is, of course, right on his style, you know, on his relationship to truth and to facts. Mm. But who is a perfect politician? Mm. Even John F. Kennedy had his sex affairs with Marilyn Monroe and others in the White House. So who is a perfect? One exception is, of course, Jimmy Carter. I met him in the White House. I was in the White House press corps, and he was a moderate, reliable man, but he didn't succeed in Iran, for example, as you remember.
Yeah.
Some say he was too soft. So my takeaway is we see a new American revolution. It's a real revolution now. It's promoted by Mr. Trump. And it's added with the fresh ideas of the most successful entrepreneur of the world. Some call it the new Einstein, Elon Musk. And it's in full tradition with George Washington and the founding fathers of the United States of America. They got a clear mandate by the people. So what they do is what the people want. Because he was very clear in all his speeches about what he is doing as a politician. And he got the majority of the votes. He won all the 7 swing states. He won House of Representatives, U.S. Senate, etc. So it's coming from the people, from the center. And for me, it's old thinking, old style thinking, to think, is it right or is it left or so? It has to promote the wish of the people. And
but to be fair, he only won by about 1% of the vote. It wasn't a landslide victory, although he did win, as you mentioned, all of those different things. There still is about 50% of America that did not vote for him.
That's correct, yeah. But he won. It's an exception of this because of this election system.
Yeah.
You're right. You don't have to agree with what he's doing. I think in democracies, all the politicians, you never agree 100% what they do.
Yeah.
But he is right on several things. Let me just mention some what we heard. He's promoting a common sense realpolitik, and I'm a fan of a realpolitik. He says the woke ideology is over, and it's too much. And he is promoting more freedom as a base of democracy. He's right on this. He is right on migration cannot continue unlimited, but we need talents. That was a fight, as you know. Elon Musk was fighting to allow foreign talents to enter. We need a migration realpolitik with humanity everywhere. It's changing now in Germany as well. And he says economy and secure jobs first. And he's right. That was what people need. They need jobs. We need growth in economy everywhere in each of the countries. And he told it at the World Economic Forum lately some days ago. And he gets thousands of billions of dollars, not millions, invested in the next years in the U.S. economy. It's amazing. Alone $600 billion, not million, billion dollars from Saudi Arabia alone.
Yeah.
Can I jump in there? The interesting thing, though, about populist leaders generally is they're very good at presenting the problems historically, but not necessarily so effective at coming through with solutions. Donald Trump can say, right, no more foreigners, toughen up the borders, jobs for Americans. We're going to rename the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. We're going to take over Greenland. He can say all of these things, and of course they're going to be popular. But how much of it is he actually going to be able to execute? Can he really stop the foreigners? Can he really rename the Gulf of America? Can he really take over Greenland? And so my question is, with populist leaders, does it lead to an element of disappointment and despondency quite quickly when he can't deliver, if he can't deliver?
He will deliver. I'm not a fan of the slogans of populist. All politicians are populist. They promise you gold. What do they deliver?
In every pot.
Yes, everybody. So there's left populist, center populist, right-wing populist. They're all populist. I think we have to see, is he delivering? Your question is the right thing. He will definitely deliver. I can tell you with not 100% sure, but let's say 2/3 sure it will be a huge success because he is action-oriented. And it showed that he signed 100+ degrees the first day. You know, one of our problems is in democracies, our standard politicians, they endless talk, they take endless time and no solution. They talk. He's a doer. He's a entrepreneur, real estate. So that's this amazing new style, totally different from Ronald Reagan or from Carter and others, a traditional way. So he will do it, and he will deliver as well, because he will quickly deliver. So he has a focus, like a laser focus on delivery. And of course, you don't have to take everything serious. On the Greenland side, I have checked this issue as well. Greenland will go independent. There are only 56,000 people there. The half of the budget is funded by Denmark. So they will first get independent, and then they will decide whether they join the United States of America in a way like Puerto Rico did. Don't forget Puerto Rico, for example, or U.S. Virgin Islands. So there are cases like this. So he will deliver, but it is kind of rhetoric, and he will deliver on many things. So freedom of speech, for example, which is a basic of democracies. The censorship in social media got much too far. It was manipulated too much as well. So he will deliver. He will deliver in more defense capability to deter Iran, to deter Russia. He is promoting peace. It's unbelievable.
But these things will, things will cost money. And one of the issues in the US right now is the cost of living. It was the cost of groceries for middle America. How is he going to deal with that? How is he going to improve the cost of living or bring down the cost of living, deal with inflation? These are real-world bread and butter issues that leaders have to deal with.
He has a plan already. He is focused to get the inflation down. The inflation down by drill, baby, drill. He said it's golden oil under our feet. So he will drill. So that will make it more rich. He will go down with the oil price. His aim is now around $30, which is quite low, but it depends. So then the inflation, and he will get the growth. If you have, let's say, 2,000 billion of new investment in America, let's say in 2 years, and 4,000 billion in 4 years, this will push your growth. What standard politicians often forget, wealth needs growth. Social welfare can only be funded with growth. If we have no growth, like we don't have since 2 years in Germany, we have no tax income. So then even low tax income, he wants to reduce the tax, as you are aware, will be enough. So I think it's a revolutionary new concept, which at the end will free the economy, boom the economy, and at the end will promote less cost for the people and more income for the state.
We're talking with Hubertus Hoffmann, President and CEO of Mission Future. Steve Oken is off today. Hubertus, I hear what you're saying, but I mean, it's endlessly, I think, more complex than that. For example, if you drill more, if you get away from the Paris Accords, you're going to have increased climate change. You're going to have increased costs related to fires and stronger hurricanes and things like that. So, I mean, there are elements there that may not necessarily balance out when you look at maybe you're making more money here, but you're losing money there. He's also talked quite clearly about wanting to look at Social Security and Medicare, Medicaid, some of these social programs that are really sacred in America, and some have even said he wants to do away with them. I don't know if he'll get that far. I don't think he will. So there are lots of competing elements to his basic, I think, overview or overarching statements. Like Neil said, it's easy to promise, or every politician can promise anything, but actually getting it done. Now, I want to segue this into Mission Future, because you and Mission Future, I want you to tell us a little bit about that, but your thought is that democracy is breaking and broken and needs to come back and focus on three main pillars to get back on track. So let's move into Mission Future and talk about that.
Yes. We have analyzed since decades, my wife Yvonne and I, we founded missionfuture.com AI and have started it just a year ago. We have analyzed politics. All my friends are frustrated with politics. Moscow frustrated, Hong Kong frustrated, Berlin frustrated, New York frustrated, etc., Africa, etc., etc. So how do we do a good policy? Let's totally get away from this woke ideology. No ideology, only common sense. Realpolitik, we call it realpolitik. Common sense is needed. And then we have looked, how does a not left, not right, but center, logical, better future polity has to be based on? And it has to be based on three pillars. Number one is humanity. This is something Trump is not talking about, really. But within humanity, there are two elements. The one element is freedom. He's talking about a lot of freedom, but tolerance. Here in Singapore,
not so much.
That's not so much. We need tolerance in a diverse world. Okay. And tolerance as well means that the state cannot say you have to do this and this. The people have to breathe. So tolerance needs as well freedom, respect.
And what's the second pillar?
And the second pillar is creativity. Everything you see in front of you was done by creativity. In politics, they hate creativity because it's not invented by the politician in charge. He sees us as critical. You have a better idea. No, you criticize my idea because you have a better idea. They stop it, they kill. We need to have creativity. And our proposal is, one of these is, we need creativity everywhere. Politics will be much better. And number three is effectiveness. We have kind of invented this Department of Government Efficiency, we call it, that we were the first to promote it. Effectiveness, we call it, or efficiency, more or less the same. So we need to say, reduce bureaucracy, don't burn too much money, use artificial intelligence, reduce it, so you save billions of dollars, and you need to have fast decision making. Our bureaucracies kill everything. I'm talking about Russia. killing their bureaucracy. China, United States, Germany, they are a pain in the ass, so to say, for everybody. And this is amazing that the most intelligent entrepreneur, the maker of SpaceX, Elon Musk, is working on it. And we are working on this as well.
But listeners would say, critics would say, Elon Musk, in a corporate sense, is an authoritarian. He does what he wants. He answers to no one. He's in charge. And to have that level of efficiency, that level of control, generally, historically, only works in authoritarian governments, because democracy slows you down, because everybody has a say. I have to take on your opinion, I have to take on Max's opinion, I have to take on Glenn's opinion, and then I have to reach a consensus. Consensus is slow, time-consuming, and sometimes costly. But that's what a democracy is. You try to appeal to as many people as possible. You're suggesting that that style of government leads more towards authoritarianism. I say you do. That kind of thing. Am I hearing it correctly?
The questions are always right. Let's openly discuss it. But we cannot endless talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. No decision made.
Of course.
We have politicians who are promoted to be minister, know nothing about what they do. They are just party creations. So this is the reality of democracies. So there must be action. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, action. And we can talk. I was in the city parliament in my hometown, for example. We can talk, but then we have to decide.
So
if there are problems, we have to decide.
But just to jump in there, Schwarzenegger is a good example, because Schwarzenegger was a Republican, but he was a state of California governor. In California, they have very left-leaning laws when it comes to the environment, and he pushed some of the most progressive environmental laws in the world as a Republican, because he listened to the consensus. He got the majority view of his constituents. So that's a man being pragmatic, yes, but also willing to change.
If we have only consensus, the majority decides. That's democracy.
Yep.
We cannot have a consensus of 100%.
Right.
Or of 70%.
Yep.
Then we get in a dictatorship, actually. So we have to decide. We have to openly discuss. When someone has a good idea, we do it. We need environmental protection, but it has to be in the sea. It has to be to save the environment, the greenery, etc. But it has to be activated. And then when we see we do the wrong decision, then we can decide better. So we have to be flexible. We have to check every political decision after 2 years. We have decided 10 years ago something which is not good anymore, but we keep it because some parties have decided in the party conference. Yeah. That's absurd.
Mm-hmm. We do have to go there, but this idea of mission future of freedom and tolerance, creativity, effectiveness. If you are going to have this actually be implemented, how is it going to happen? How are you going to get governments to listen to you, or countries to listen to you, or leaders to listen to you, to follow these three pillars?
We have done this in Estonia. We advised this new state, independent state of Estonia in 92 already. So we have been heavily involved. We wrote a future program for Estonia. And Estonia is the most successful success story in European Union. It's a member of European Union, joined NATO, has the best e-government. So it takes only 5 minutes when you have to text checked online, etc. So it works like the pressure is there for new ideas to save money, to be better. And we promote to look for global best practices. We call them golden global champions, and then copy it in other countries. And that's the best idea to save money, to save the people, and to stabilize our democracies, to be more efficient.
Wonderful. In a word, literally a word, will Donald Trump be a successful president?
A very, very successful president.
Great.
There you go.
All right. Hubertus Hoffmann, the president and CEO of Mission Future, missionfuture.com if you want to find more. Thanks for being with us today. Safe travels back to Germany.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.